Alright, let's look at the big one. Number 2. The scatter plot to the right shows the relationship between x equals latitude in degrees and y equals mean July temperature in Fahrenheit for 12 cities in the United States. The equation of the regression line relating these variables is y hat equals 106.5 minus 0.782x. Okay. Question A. Los Angeles, California is at latitude 34 degrees and has an actual mean July temperature of 74 Fahrenheit. Calculate its redual. Okay, so we know we already have an actual data point. That actual point is going to be what? What goes in the x. That's going to be on the x-axis, so latitude, so this is an actual of 34. And then the temperature is what actually happened was a 74-degree temperature. Okay? And so what I'm going to be looking for is I want to see what the predicted temperature would be at 34 degrees latitude. So that's what we're looking for. And then the difference between this and this would be the redual. So, in order to make this prediction, I have to plug in this x value right here into that equation to see what we get for the prediction. So let's do that now. Y hat equals 106.5 minus 0.782 times 34. Okay? Now, go ahead and get your calculator. 0.782 times 34, 26.588. Then bring everything else down that you do not touch. All right, excellent. 106.5 minus that is y hat equals 79.912. All right, beautiful. So we can probably just put this in right here. It's 79.91, kind of round that off a little bit. All right, now the redual, the formula for the redual is going to be y minus y hat. That's in your formula sheet. Now, what is y? Y is the actual thing that happened, the actual y. That's going to be 74 minus, what did that party hat mean? The predicted y, which we already found to be 79.91. So we're going to subtract 79.91, and we're going to get negative 5.91. This right here is your redual for the problem. Now, be asked to interpret the above redual. So all we're doing is we're going to put that into a sentence. So the way we can do this is we can say something along the lines of the model overestimated by 5.91 degrees Fahrenheit. Something like that, or the actual temperature was 5.91 below the predicted. Something like that. Either or works good. Okay? Alright, let's look at C. The slope of the regression line is negative 0.782. Interpret the slope in the context of the problem. And slope equals rise over run. So when I rise, that's going to be my change. The triangle means change in y. When I run, that's going to be my change in x. My question is, what is changing on y? Well, the temperature, right? The mean temperature over what's on the x-axis, latitude. So what is the slope? The slope is negative 0.782 divided by 1. So for every 1 degree in latitude, the temperature, the predicted mean temp is dropping by 0.782. And that's precisely what you can write. Right, for every degree latitude, we predict a 0.782 drop in temperature. All right, there you go. D. Fairbanks, Alaska is located at latitude 65 degrees. Using the regression line, it is predicted that the mean July temperature is 56 Fahrenheit. What is the problem with using latitude 65 to make a prediction? Well, look at this graph here. Notice how it begins, what, like at 30? And then it goes to 42, right? And this is asking us to make a prediction at 65. 65 is way, way out here, okay? We do not have any data where 65 is. So the problem with using 65 is it is outside of the data range collected. In other words, the vocabulary we have for it is an extrapolation. Finally, E. What might be a reasonable guess for the R value of this regression model? Why? Well, the points are pretty spread out. I mean, look how far away the points are vertically from this line. Okay? We have a few that are really close, but we have several that are pretty far out. So the R value is probably going to be near 0. Probably not 0, it's weak, but it's going to be near 0, and also it's going to be negative because it's a negative direction. Okay, negative correlation, also negative. Maybe negative 0.2, negative 0.4, anything around that, those numbers would work here. Okay. Oh yeah, Y, it is the scatter plot has a negative direction and is weak. There you go. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.